Speedrunners Arena. Today we have match 3 between two titans of the tournament. Two gentlemen who put the super in Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament. The two individuals that when we were in Swiss, you really didn't want to accidentally draw as your opponent. sloaters27 versus Zeb316. Both of our runners have won one match. This is the rubber match. Zeb winning race 1 by minutes. Sloaters won race 2 by a little more than that, but I don't know exactly the timing on it. I will be your commentator today. I am the Cheese Reaver. I am joined by Ghost Wizard 87 on tracking, and Music is our restreamer. This should be good stuff. Our runners have readied up. The gate has been dropped. The 10-second runoff is gone, and we are just waiting on stream lag, which could be a who knows. WJG remembering to put up the prediction. Good job, WJG. And our runners are off. A nice deep red ship for Sloaters, a normally colored ship for Zeb. Sloaters timer about a second, maybe a second and a half in front of Zeb. Our runners will, of course, make their way to the left through the parlor, down through the climb, and make their way to the first item, which will always be the morphing ball on the morph ball pedestal. After that, well, I was going to say anything goes, but it's really not anything goes. Due to the simplicity of the SMRAT logic, not a whole lot of things go. And I'm being screamed at by a cat while they're doing that. I'm being screamed at by a cat who's not in the room, so I'm not worried about it. She can scream in the hallway. And looks like Zeb will be our first runner to make it to the morphing ball. Sloaters just a second or two behind. So now our runners will make their way to the right and find out what the actual first randomized item is. Zeb gets a nice quick fall, Sloaters does as well, and high jump boots at Alpha Missiles. High jump boots, fantastic item, my favorite movement item in the game. The one problem is, depending on your muscle memory for the climb, it can really do a number on your climb. It does put the item here in the ceiling in logic, just a pack of missiles, so it's not, world-beating the fact that those are in logic, but hey, they are. And beta missiles, also missiles, so the fact that the missiles in the ceiling were in logic is completely irrelevant. And our runners will now head back to the left and make their way through the pit room and up the climb. Of course, depending on which climb they use, those high jump boots may mess with the muscle memory, so we may see some mistakes. Of course, with two runners of this caliber, you don't expect to see a lot of mistakes, just in general. Of course, our runners, having not found any power bombs, are guaranteed to find either bombs or power bombs at Bomb Chorizo. Once one of them gets there, find out. Zeb already tripped up just a little bit by those high jump boots there at the bottom of the climb, letting Sloaters make up that tiny bit of ground he had lost. Oh, but Sloaters angles a shot. Who makes it out of the climb first? They are in the same door transition at the same time, making their way out of the climb. Alright, and looks like Sloaters is about the second that his timer is ahead, going into the door transition. And let's see what Bomb Chorizo's got. Bomb Chorizo has power bombs. No BT fight today, everybody. But those power bombs, of course, give our runners access to the rest of the game. Well, not all of the rest of the game, but at least parts of the rest of the game. We'll have to see. I expect we'll see at least one, if not both of our runners, check the 230 item. Looks like Sloaters is heading down, as is Zeb, so both of them are probably going to do that. And then I expect them to head up and go through Terminator. This 230 item is just such a quick check if you find power bombs at PT. And just more missiles. Oh, Sloaters fake picks them up and then goes back for more. And we are being raided by Decal. Thank you very much for the raid. You are joining us in what is one heck of a hyped match. This is our reigning grand champion, Zeb316, versus a man who, if you know anything about Super Metroid speedrunning, you know his name, sloaters27. And just a vanilla E-Tank here at the Terminator. Yes. Alright, both of our runners are going to take a trip up to check the back of Gauntlet. Looked like missiles and the grapple beam there at the back of Gauntlet. And for those of you wondering, as this is match 3, the winner of this race will go on to the finals to face RKC TKC, who himself beat MM2 Nest Cartridge 2-1 in that semifinal, and the loser will go face MM2 Nest Cartridge in the third place match. Sloater is going to be the first one to take a peek through Mach. Just missiles underneath the bridge. Oh, but Zeb had enough missiles to get through the door. Sloaters did not. Sloaters going to have to farm up some missiles here at the top. And gets enough, he'll be able to open the door. And Zeb has found the first super missiles of the match, though they are not in logic. But Sloaters did find a wave beam at early supers, which is always nice to find. Now let's see if our runners actually use that wave beam in Big Pink to open up the wave gate, or if they just do the wave gate glitch. Alright, Zeb will be our first runner to make their way towards the Edacoons. Ooh, and Sloaters doesn't quite get the reverse Mach Ball. Alright. Edacoons, it just has a vanilla E-Tank. And let's see what's behind the super door. Regular missiles, and Zeb only at 20 missiles already saying no. And Zeb doing some masterful damage boosting there across the damage boost tutorial room. Sloater's going to go ahead and pick up those missiles that we saw Zeb skip. And we have more supers at the Edacoon's Powerbomb location. Sloater's doing a little less damage boosting in that room than Zeb did, but makes his way through and we'll be able to head up and grab his super missiles. As Zeb is going to make his way through the pink hallway, or the Decora hallway, and into Big Pink. Let's see, Big Pink, we've got power bombs and the Big Pink missiles. That's a nice find for Zeb there. He walked in not exactly flush with power bombs. And, ooh, that is a speed booster at Mission Impossible. Already 2 of the heavy-hitting movement items found. Those high jump boots and now the speed booster. Sloater's also going to pick up those power bombs and head into Mission Impossible. Next up, we've got Zeb heading into the wave gate room. And remembers that he has wave. Ooh, is Sloaters gonna get Mission Impossible? He got the quick drop. And, oh, Sloaters gets Mission Impossible. That is not an easy trick. Zeb, meanwhile, finds just a reserve tank at the wave gate and decides he does not want any of that. Nice high five there in the wave gate. Or not in the wave gate, but in the wave gate door. Sloaters will also be rewarded with a reserve tank, which he does pick up. Meanwhile, Zeb has performed the Spore Spawn skip. And let's see what he finds. He is rewarded with another pack of power bombs, putting him at the magic number of 15. That, of course, being the magic number both for Crystal Flashing and in case our runners don't find Ice Beam. You really do want the 15 for Torian. So at this point, Zeb about a screen in front of Sloaters, and I would place most of that on the fact that Sloaters has just kind of picked up more stuff. Zeb gonna go right to Waterway. He does see super missiles at charge and just missiles at charge missiles. And Sloaters is gonna pick up this ammo. We've already seen Zeb skip quite a few missiles. At least 3 packs. And Waterway is just a pack of supers. I mean, nothing wrong with a nice pack of supers. And it looks like Sloaters is going to make that check as well. Which even though the check's not in logic, I fully understand why these runners are making it here. Because Waterway is a location that it's really difficult to route in nicely later. If you've got the speed booster when you pass by, and you can do the short charge, just go for it. Because it's really far from anything else. Alright, looks like Zeb is gonna set up for reverse meme, but doesn't even check the pipe item first. I'm a little surprised by that. Oh, he's just checking the one item. And finds missiles and decides to leave. Meanwhile, both of our runners gonna see missiles in the Green Hill pipe. Zeb skips him, Sloaters picks him up. That's been the story thus far, honestly. Zeb skipping things and Sloaters picking stuff up. And that puts Sloaters at 40, what many would consider one of the magic numbers. 40 being the number of missiles you would need to beat Mother Brain 1 not using any supers. Really, you only need 36, but there's not actually a way to only get 36 missiles. They come in 5s. And both of our runners heading down towards the Spazer location. I like this play. Kraid is in logic because of those high jump boots. Zeb will be the first one to see the Spazer item, and ooh, that is a gravity suit at Spazer. That just opens up everything. With the speed booster and the gravity suit, so much stuff is open now. Like, I mean, really, basically, logically, everything except heated rooms is open. Both of our runners gonna go ahead and crack the pipe, but not enter just yet. I'm sure we will see them both finish off Kraid and do the high jump check. Yes, Fantoon is in logic with what they've got. And just missiles at Kraid missiles. Sloaters farming up just a little bit of health. His health had gotten pretty monka-ass there. Our runners are going to be entering Kraid within 2 or 3 seconds of each other. 6, because Varia halves damage, gravity quarters it. So 3 tanks plus gravity does it. And Sloaters with a quick Kraid quick kill. And Zeb with the same. And just an E-Tank behind, but considering Sloater's health situation, he's happy to find that E-Tank, I expect. And that may be the last of the health we see either of our runners pick up, other than for a quick refill. Yeah, the suits don't stack on each other for damage, for enemy damage reduction. It's just various 50%, gravity 75, but they moved all environmental to Varia. So gravity suit doesn't protect you from spikes at all. Alright, Sloaters entering the frog pocket, and just missiles. Sloaters is done picking up missiles. And Zeb hasn't picked up a missile in quite some time. Sloaters gets the nice mock ball through and is going to be down the elevator on his way towards the high jump check. Zeb not going to make the high jump check. I expect we're going to see Zeb head into Meridia. Alright, high jump. We've got some power bombs here for Sloaters. Looks like Zeb is setting up to blind check Main Street and is rewarded with an energy tank. I saw some missiles at the high jump missile location, and Sloaters will find supers at high jump, and he's going to go ahead and pick those up. Zeb sees just a reserve tank at the crab super location, but is going to continue to make his way through Meridia. I expect we're going to see a Mama Turtle check next. And honestly, if I'm these runners, I'm basically full clearing Meridia till I find something. Alright, another reserve. I believe that's the 3rd reserve we've seen there at Mama Turtle. And just missiles in the wall. Sloaters, meanwhile, going to do the check of Bubble Mountain. And Bubble Mountain Corner, just power bombs. Not what he was hoping for. He was hoping that the Varia suit was hiding out. Now I expect we'll see Zeb continue his way through Meridia. I mean, he could bail here, check the top of Red Tower, and head into the wrecked ship, but he's not. He's heading deeper and deeper into the watery depths of Meridia. Right, so what's on the beach? Some super missiles on the beach. So at this point, Varia can be anywhere in Meridia and anywhere in the wreck ship. Top of Red Tower, Criteria power bombs. We haven't seen ice yet, so climb supers isn't in logic yet, but that doesn't mean Varia can't be there. Basically, Varia could be literally anywhere except heated places. Alright, Sloaters also blind checking Main Street and getting that E-Tank. Zeb checking the watering hole, finding an E-Tank and some supers. Goes ahead and grabs that E-Tank, probably for the quick free refill. Zeb this time kills the pancake on his way out of the watering hole. And Sloaters is checking Mama Turtle, seeing the missiles, seeing the reserve tank, is not impressed by Mama Turtle's bounty, and is going to leave. I expect we'll see Sloaters probably take a very similar path to what we've seen Zeb take, heading deeper into Meridia. At this point, really, the difference between the two runners is Sloaters heading down, checking high jump, and also checking the corner of Bubble Mountain. Zeb checking the aqueduct to find super missiles and regular missiles. Declines the regular missiles. Sloaters is going to head over to the watering hole where he will see, I believe it was an E-tank and some supers. Looks like he's probably going to pick up both. And Zeb has made his way into the Seasneck Botwoon. There's going to be 10 supers to Botwoon's face. Botwoon, of course, having an infamously bad hitbox. Just plain awful. And that body will just eat supers like crazy. Zeb, meanwhile, not really having any issues with Botwoon and will make his way forward. We'll probably get a very quick glance. That looked like ammo at the Botwoon E-tank. I think it was just regular missiles, but he did speed through it pretty quickly. Zeb going for the full halfie. And gets the full halfie. So we'll see a Precious check, I'm sure. And then he'll head into Dragon. It looks like we got an E-tank at Precious. And Zeb gonna go ahead and pick that up. I'm a little surprised. He's already got a pretty healthy amount of energy. I'm a little surprised he's still picking up energy, but maybe he's thinking about a possible trip to Lower Norfair without the Varia suit. And Sloater's gonna take on the Sea Snack Botwoon. Looking forward, 10 supers into the snaky face, and gets a nice one-rounder there by Sloaters. Zeb, meanwhile, is waiting for the baby shrimp to bury themselves so that he can take on Mama Shrimp. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was X-Ray at the Botwoon E-tank. Oh, Sloaters does not hit down in time, will not get a full halfie. He will have to make his way across the Coliseum the slow way. I mean, slow for most of us. I mean, he's still Sloaters, so it's still pretty quick. And Zeb finishes off Dragon with a super missile to the belly. We will now get a peek at what is sitting at Space Jump. And it is a pack of supers, which Zeb will happily pick up. You're deep enough into the game now that you're thinking, maybe I'll never find charge, so I definitely, want to make sure your ammo totals are good. And Zeb's going to make his way out of Dragon as Sloaters is waiting for Dragon to make her appearance. Sloaters starts it out with a nice shine spark to Dragon's forehead. And yet another shine spark to Dragon's forehead. And gets a third and the blue suit. And it's going for the spike suit, and I believe gets it. Nicely done there by Sloaters. Now we'll have to see where does Zeb head? Zeb gonna head down. We're probably gonna get some sandpit checks here from Zeb, I would expect. Probably left and then right, because from the right one, you're a little faster to get, well, he doesn't really have any good ways to get to check Tool, but he can still go check Plasma. And Sloaters gets the reverse halfie with that spike suit. Zeb catches the save here in Aqueduct and is going to head down towards the sand pits. And is going to hit the left one first. We'll drop a power bomb so we'll be able to see pretty quickly what we're looking at here in the sand pit. That is a space jump and an ice beam. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a left sand pit. That is a powerful left sand pit. That is no more worried about Turian, and no more worrying about vertical. Though our runners really weren't super worried about vertical anyway, already having high jump and speed booster. Space jump is a great luxury item to have here, but it's also, you know, it's a thing. Like, it's great, but it's, yeah. And it looks like Zeb heading left here, so I expect he's going to make the loop and check the right sand pit. Alright, Sloaters sees that ice beam, so already knows it's good. Now he knows how good it is. And is trying to get that jump in there. Gets the one towards the ice beam. And Zeb is going to make the loop. And Sloater's going to scooch his way over and grab that space jump. Oh no, Zeb not going to make the full loop to the right sand pit. He's going to take that space jump and head up towards the top of Red Tower, and I expect the wrecked ship. Meanwhile, Sloaters looks like he's going to head towards Plasma. Alright, Alpha PBs, we've got missiles and more missiles. Sloater's health situation is not the greatest ever for Plasma. Looks like he may be trying to farm up a little. Actually taking the time to kill these enemies. And Zeb finds super missiles at the Beta Power Bomb location. Alright, and just an E-tank here. Sloaters getting the short charge. I expect we're going to see Sloaters pick up that E-tank after he's done some damage to these pink pirates. Zeb easily gets over the moat with that space jump, skipping the missiles that are there. Now, Sloaters gets the last shine spark he needs to make his way out of Plasma. Zeb, meanwhile, finding the screw attack that would have sped that up a lot here in the ocean. That is a quality item, especially as neither of our runners have made their way to Lower Norfair yet. And that is really where Screw Attack shines. Meanwhile, we've got Sloaters probably going to make his way through the Forgotten Highway. Which means he may not check that ocean item and may not get the Screw Attack. Which will slow down his Lower Norfair a little bit. Spooky Missiles has some super spooky missiles today. Yes, Yuzuria, you are correct. Because of where Space Jump is, and then the Screw Attack puts Gauntlet into logic, Grapple is there, and then that combination of items would put Shaq-Tool in logic. So Varia could be at Shaq-Tool. Nice speedball into Fantoon for Zeb, as Sloaters is finishing up his way through the Forgotten Highway. Climb Supers is also in logic. Our runners have ice and speed. Sloaters checked more stuff, really, is what is the difference between where Zeb is and where Sloaters is. Zeb never checked the high jump location. Sloaters also checked the corner of Bubble Mountain and checked Plasma. Other than that, they've pretty much checked the same stuff. Zeb has also skipped a lot more ammo than Sloaters has. But Zeb is taking on the Elephant Ghost Fantoon, who is already quite red. Gonna go for the Doppler, and that is a dead ghost. As Sloaters picks up those super spooky missiles. Varia can be absolutely anywhere that is not a heated room at this point. Or I guess Croc, because most of the Croc rooms aren't heated, but it can't be any of those because Croc requires Varia. Alright, nice high five by our runners there in the pre-Botwoon, or pre-Botwoon, pre-Fantoon room. This is Fantoon, not Botwoon. They have both already killed Botwoon. And Zeb gonna make his way towards right side supers as Sloaters is waiting for Fantoon to fully materialize. Just a pack of missiles at the right side super. My brain is melting a little bit. Nice first round of the Doppler from Sloaters there. And Zeb finding supers at left side supers. And that is a dead Elephant Ghost for Sloaters. Both of our runners have now taken out 3 bosses with only the Space Pelican Ridley to remain. Of course, our runners are looking for Varia before doing so. And Zeb is bugging out on the wrecked ship. Doesn't check wrecked ship E-Tank. Doesn't go to the attic. He's gone. He does have quite a few checks he can make. Criteria power bombs. The front of Gauntlet, we don't know what it is. Climb supers. If he does Gauntlet, that would put Shack Tool in logic. We still have not seen right side Sandpit. But that is a gutsy play by Zeb. Because that's quite a few locations that he is orphaning at the top of Wrecked Ship. And did we see him peek the Morph Ball maze at the top of Wrecked Ship? I don't think we did. Alright, Zeb's got the spark up and is gonna head towards Criteria Power Bombs. Now we have seen suits here before. He did peek it? Okay. And we just have an E-Tank here, and Zeb is going to pick it up. The amount of energy that Zeb has picked up makes me believe he might be thinking about the suitless lower Norfair play. So otherwise, I mean, just if you're a runner, the quality of Zeb, and we've seen Zeb, I mean, he's our reigning grand champion. He's an amazing player. You don't generally see him pick up that much energy. Sloaters does the wreck ship E-Tank check and is just, I will use the word rewarded quite loosely, with a pack of missiles. Oh, but Zeb, with the cosmic brain play, finds Varia at the front of Gauntlet. That is huge. There is a good chance we see Sloaters full clear the wrecked ship. And Sloaters is going to head up. That is massive by Zeb there, finding the Varia suit at the front of Gauntlet. It was a big gamble, but it worked out for him. It could be quite a while before we see... Well, what I expect we'll see is Sloaters is going to, full clear the top of wrecked ship, head over, and then do the same checks we just saw Zeb do as far as checking Criteria power bombs and then going into Gauntlet. Meanwhile, Zeb is going to beeline for lower Norfair. Zeb is in ammo mode. Does not have enough ammo to beat the game just yet, but Floaters checks wreck ship reserved, finds an E-tank. At power bombs, at sky missiles. Spring ball was in fact at the morph maze, and Sloaters is going to go ahead and pick that up. Now, does Sloaters bail, or does Sloaters do, Nope, looks like Sloaters is going to go ahead and do bowling. That's right, get your Peepo SBs in, chat. So yeah, at this point, this is most definitely Zeb's race to lose. Because every minute Sloaters spends not going to the front of Gauntlet and grabbing that Various suit is more time that Zeb gets ahead. That being said, Zeb still does need to find a little bit of ammo. And, you know, weird stuff can happen, but Zeb does have a lot of health. Sloater's gonna check the bowling missile item. And we'll find some supers, which he's gonna go ahead and pick up. That will put Sloaters at minimum ammo for Mother Brain. Unfortunately for Sloaters, there's just no item that could be sitting here at Gravity that would make this truly have been worth the time investment. I do think we're going to see him grab Screw Attack here, which is good. That will speed up his lower Norfair, but, I mean, Zeb is already an Amphitheater. Sloater is going to make his way out of wreck ship back towards Criteria. Oh no, Sloaters never saw the top of Red Tower. He's going to do that. So that's going to lead him possibly further away from the Gauntlet. When Zeb finding the charge beam at Power Bombs of Shame, thus putting Zeb in full go mode. His ammo count is no longer relevant. And Sloater's picking up the supers there at Beta Power Bombs. Zeb in the Carl Douglas Pirate Room. It turns out everyone was, in fact, Kung Fu fighting. And Sloater's going to head into Alpha Power Bombs, where I believe it was just a double missile. And it was. Zeb starting his Fantoon, wow, my brain really is fried. Starting his Ridley fight, taking on the Space Pelican. And Sloaters is going to head into the X-Ray. We have not seen X-Ray yet, Zeb never checked it. Unfortunately, this is just leading Sloaters further and further away from where the Various suit is. And just power bombs there at X-Ray. I mean, to be fair, no one's ever seen me and Seth Rogen in the same room at the same time. Alright, and that is all of the bosses down for Zeb. He has just got to make his way up. to Turian and go murder a brain chicken. Meanwhile, Sloaters is likely about to meme route. That will get him Construction Zone, Billy Mays, Old Mother Brain, probably climb supers. Finds the missiles. I do expect when Sloaters does, Sloaters might feel behind, but once he finds Varia, he is going to feel behind. Like, without question, you feel behind in that situation. Zeb does a quick check on Hodarubi Special, just sees missiles, isn't concerned. It's such a quick check, though. If it was something like Plasma, it could really shorten his mother brain. And there's Plasma at 3 Musketeers. That is correct. Sloaters is avoiding hell runs. The SMRAT logic will never require hell runs. So Zeb now with, he already had a really, a sizable lead, but now with a really big lead fighting that plasma beam, so now has full beam combo and is on his way to Mother Brain with any item he could want. And Sloaters checks Old Mother Brain, and it's just missiles. And now... is this gonna softlock Sloaters? Oh, and a death by Sloaters. Where did Sloaters last save? Ooh, Sloaters last saved before heading to left sandpit. F's in chat for Sloaters. That is extremely unfortunate. Sloaters gonna check right sandpit, thinking maybe Varia was there all along. And it looks like Sloaters might be headed towards Shack Tool, but he doesn't really have a way to get to Shack Tool, does he? Oh, and there's the reset. He doesn't have ice. The save is from before he had he did left sandpit and found ice. Yeah, Varia was at the front of Gauntlet, and Sloaters hasn't checked it. He checked the back of Gauntlet on his first time through. Zeb, meanwhile, skipped the top half of Wreck's ship, went into Criteria, and found it. Now, we are probably going to see Sloaters pick up this ice beam and space jump, and then head over to Shack Tool, and ice clip his way in. But we've got Zeb on the elevator to Turian. As Sloaters re-picks up space jump and ice beam. Zeb is in Metroid Room 1, making short work of it. 2, no muss, no fuss. Quickly makes his way through Metro Room 3 as Sloaters is making his way to Shack Tool. We're going to see an ice clip, I'm sure. And Zeb just finishing up Metroid Room 4. Yeah, Spring Ball's gone, Screw Attack's gone. I think those are the only two we're missing on Sloaters' side. Sloaters not quite getting the freeze in the correct spot. Waiting for that Puyo. Is that the right one? Not quite. I believe that one would work if he had X-Ray. Gets the right one. He's gonna head over to Shack Tool. At this point, Shack Tool can't really have much of anything. The only major items we haven't seen are bombs and Spazer. That was a very nice baby skip there by Zeb, as he is about to make his way into Mother Brain's chamber. Not gonna save, isn't worried about it, has tons of health, plenty of ammo. Actually, we may see a stand-up here from Zeb. And Sloaters finds super missiles here at Shack Tool. So, you know, Sloaters has got to be just racking his brain at what locations he hasn't been to yet. And he knows it's a pretty small number. Meanwhile, we've got Zeb taking on phase 2 of the Brain Chicken. It's only 20 shots with that full beam combo. And is trying not to get hit, because I'm sure he would like to do a stand-up here. Masterfully dodges the first catch-up. Has no issues dodging the second catch-up. And I believe that is it for Mother Brain 2. As Sloaters once again picks up Space Jump, and I'm sure we'll see him pick up Ice. Now, in SMRAT logic, Gauntlet can have a suit. See, SMRAT logic, I don't know if there's anywhere that... I guess Lower Norfair is, I believe, the only location that cannot have any suits in SMRAT. Because logically, both suits are required to enter Lower Norfair. Zeb has successfully performed the first half of the stand-up glitch, and is now waiting for Mother Brain's corpse to go just the right shade of gray before he starts shooting her in the face. And he is now taking part in the second half of the stand-up glitch. Alright, so we've got Sloaters having picked up Ice and Space. It's gonna head up, which is the direction he needs to go. Hopefully he realizes that really the only spots he hasn't been yet are Criteria Power Bombs and the Gauntlet. I expect we'll see him check Criteria Power Bombs first. And also, considering the kind of seed he's had, it would not shock me at all if we see a pretty quick forfeit after Zeb duns. Zeb, meanwhile, finishes off Mother Brain 3. Happened so quickly, I barely noticed because he had a very good stand-up glitch there. Looked like only a 2, maybe a 3 shot with the Hyper Beam. And now Zeb just has the escape remaining. Having that speed booster, we'll be able to take the shortcuts. I actually don't know what the tournament record is for a race. I don't have that information on hand. All right, Sloaters is at criteria power bombs. Sees the E-tank as Zeb sparks up the climb. Zeb making his way through the parlor. We have a dot done from Zeb316 in first place. The time of 49 minutes and 24 seconds, and a few seconds later we have the dot forfeit by Sloaters. GG to both of our runners. I will see if they'd like to come in for interviews. Looks like Zeb has already popped into the green room, so let me pull him up. And we are joined by our winner, Zeb316. GG, Zeb.
Yeah, GG. That was crazy.
So, I'm gonna wait till, because I believe Sloaters is gonna join us too, so before I start asking too many hard-hitting questions, I'll wait till he gets here. But I guess, what were your general thoughts? Oh, wait, there's Sloaters now. Let me pull him in. And we are also joined by sloaters27. GG, Sloaters.
Hey, GG.
So Zeb, I have to ask, what was your logic behind the Galaxy Brain skipping the top of Wreck Ship?
Oh god, I felt really bad, kind of, but at the same time, not too bad. I don't know. Like, I actually thought the Barry was going to be at Shack Tool. That was my thought. I found that screw attack at the bottom of Ocean. I found the space jump in Left Sandpit, and I knew the grapple was at the back of Gauntlet. So I was all like, oh god, it's at Shack Tool. So I wanted to get back there as fast as possible, was my thought, basically. So I skipped the top of Wreck Ship, I go to Gauntlet to get my grapple beam, and then I was going to go down to check Climb Supers on the way as well. And on my way to get that grapple beam, I found the barrier, and I was like, oh wait, like, I've got everything I need now. So it's like, yep, just go.
Yeah, and I mean, you and Sloaters, you took pretty similar routes, and honestly, you killed Fantoon within a minute of each other. Your Fantoons were very close. It was really that was kind of the play, and then I guess Sloaters, it's it's unfortunate, but you kind of took as long to get to the front of Gauntlet as you could.
Yeah, I last locationed it, so
Yeah.
It always hurts to last location something, especially something as important as Varia.
yeah.
Oh, both of you kind of collected more energy than I'm used to either of you collecting. Was Suitless Lower Norfair kind of in the back of your mind, or?
For me, yes, especially once I was thinking about Shack Tool. My plan was to go get that grapple and then go down and check Shack Tool. And if I'm doing that, I'm getting the grapple anyway. Then I've got grapple for Suitless Lower Norfair. I know where a couple of reserve tanks are. I've already got like 7 E-tanks. And at least, I think, 15 or 20 power bombs that I know where they are. So, yeah, I was definitely, if Varia wasn't at Shack Tool, I would have done Suitless Lower Norfair at that point. So.
Gotcha.
I wasn't really thinking about it, just because I kind of planned going to Wreck Ship from a radio already. So, like, by the time my resources were probably, like, going to be looking good for it, if I didn't find Varia at that point, I would have, like, so few checks left that I was like, well, I might as well just... I'm up at Wreck Ship right now. It's not like I'm right next to Lower Norfair, so I might as well just dig it out.
That makes sense. Yeah, because by that point you would have had, just like you said, so few checks that you'd save more time just doing those checks than you would doing it suitless.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's really tough to make suitless Lower Norfair work, I think, because of that. Because it's like you need to check enough stuff that you have the equipment, but then the more stuff you check, the less spots Varia could be, right?
I think I think Suitless Lower Norfair is a good bailout if you're like skipping a lot of sporadic checks. Like, which is kind of what I was doing this seed. I skipped high jump boost location and the Bubble Mountain, and I was skipping the top of wreck ship, so there were a couple of different spots it could have been. I also skipped right sand pit, and plasma. So all of the spots that could have been, and climb. Well, I guess I would have been checking climb supers if I had gone the route that I would have gone. But yeah, all of the checks that I would have had left would have been very spread out. So
yeah, you both did a play I very much agree with, but I know there's been some debate about it. You found the early speed booster and you went ahead and checked waterway while you were there. You know it's not in logic. You know it's kind of a low percentage play that it's anything important, but it's so far out of the way from everything else that I definitely always think it's best to just go ahead and check it. I think it was just some missiles or some supers or something this time, but I don't know. I've seen people clown that move, and I want to state on the record that I agree with that move. You check waterway while you're there.
I actually think it's reasonable to do either, to check it or not check it, just because, like you said, it's such a low percentage play. The only thing that could be there that's good is like, well, there are good stuff that can be there, but the only suit that could be there is Varia, and it would have to be like buried in logic behind Gravity Suit anyway.
Right.
So I don't mind skipping it actually, but I think there was a race like last year where I was thinking about skipping it and decided not to, and Varia was there. So ever since then, I'm like, I probably shouldn't skip it. Like, it is a pretty long check though, so it's not terrible to skip.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, really any skip in this game, if you're gonna skip something, you're probably not planning on coming back unless you're like super desperate or like you're literally like last locationing something. Like having to backtrack to an area just takes so long when you could have just checked it the first time when you were there. So I mean,
yeah, I can definitely.
If I have it, I'm gonna do it when I'm there, unless I just want to skip it and don't plan on coming back. Like I don't care about the logic at that point.
You just make it where, look, if what I need is there, I'm just going to lose, and you just accept that fact.
Yeah, pretty much.
And roll with it. Well, that's awesome. You two put on a great show, all three races today. It was great. Zeb, you are heading up to the finals to take on RKC TKC in a best of 5. And Sloaters, you're headed to the third place match to take on MM2. So I guess Zeb, as our reigning grand champion and our next finals person, I'll ask you first. What do you think about your matchup in the finals?
I think it'll be a good matchup. RK is one of the only people who beat our team in Rando League. He beat Nevdi, so looking to get a little bit of revenge for that, but should be fun.
Awesome. And you, Sloaters, facing off against MM2 in the third place match.
I'm excited for it. We got to race in the SG Live Rando tournament. Just a little bit different logic, of course, but it'll be cool to get another match with him. Also, he's just been talking down on Spring Ball for like ages. So
Forever.
Yeah.
You need to go redeem Spring Ball, Sloaters. Look, I understand I'm an admin of this tournament, and I'm supposed to be impartial. I need you to go redeem Spring Ball. That's what I need you to do.
I will, Cheese. Spring Ball, it's not just an item, it's the item. And MM2,
it is the validation item.
He's going to get what's coming to him. I'll say that.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. So that's it for us today. And I think that actually might be the last match on the schedule right now, because I think we've just hit the point where we have so few matches left that it kind of, we're waiting on races before we can start scheduling new races. Yes, please do give our runners a follow. They put on a great show today, and as I always say, they're racing video games on the internet for your entertainment for free. The least you could do is go give them a follow. Follow me if you really want to. I've been playing a lot of Parasite Eve lately, so if you're really into Super Metroid, I may not be the best follow for you. Follow our tracker Ghost Wizard, our streamer Music. Don't follow WJG because he doesn't stream. And I don't know if I'm sure we're gonna raid somebody. But I guess before I do that, either of you have any parting notes before we raid off?
Not really. Just GG. Fun races.
Yeah, GG. Thank you for the comps, Cheese. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. Well, GG to both of you. It's a great match. All three of them were great to watch. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next mission.